Hi all, welcome to another Seasons at Home model making video. In this video I'm going to add the grass on top of my base. I have purchased a grass mat from Noh on Amazon and now I'm just going to roll out the mat and secure it to the base. I've gone with the route of the mat because my inspiration for this is part Croatia and part Germany. So the part where it comes to the hills and to the rocks, I take an inspiration from Croatia, from Gorski Kotar and Lika. And the part of the grass-covered hills, I've taken from Germany. It's basically where I currently live, a bit more to the north. You can pass through the hills that are completely covered in grass. And to me, that just look incredible. But because this is completely covered with grass, it didn't make any sense to me to buy everything that I need for the static grass and then do the grass by myself. Using the grass mat has really made my life easier and I was done quickly with all of the grass. To secure the grass to my board, I'm using, of course, my favorite packing tape because why not? The first part that I'm going to secure to the board is going to be the narrower part. Let's call that on the bottom of the model, because I have to make sure that I make enough of the tension so that the grass mat is following the contours of the hill and of the model. Now, for this, I'm going to also use my pins that I use for sewing, and I'm going to pin all of the grass on the certain parts that is showing some sort of resistance to me when I'm pressing it down lightly with my fingers and I'm going over the contours with my hands. And if you use pins, then this will allow you to make the tension. And when I have put enough pins so that it's holding my grass, then I flip my model because my model is light, so I don't have to go under the table and do everything while crawling. And I cut out the edge so that it doesn't overflow my board too much, because I want to keep the bottom of these stand boards free from grass. I only want to secure the grass below the board so that you don't see the styrofoam and you don't see the edge of the model when you look from the eye level. One of the reasons is because I don't like to see these boards underneath, and to me it just looks nicer. I mean, this is a model, it's limited in size, so I cannot do it so that it's edge free. And then I'm just going to continue with tapping my grass to make sure that it's nice and it's following contours. And then I'm going to start cutting the grass around the hill, because I don't want to have the grass on my little bridge. And I also need to make sure that my grass is following the contours of this high hill correctly. Last time I did the cliffs and actually that was 2 videos ago that I made cliffs and I made my little bridge, and I have completely covered this side where I'm currently cutting the grass with the plaster because I want this part to be shown. However, when I'm cutting a bit smaller than the circumference of my hill, because if I cut too much, then I will have an issue with adding the grass, and that's not what I want. It's always easier to cut a bit more than to have to glue in some extra stuff. And of course, when I have cut it, I'm again using the pins to secure my grass a bit more so that it's completely clinging to the base. And then I do the exact same thing on the other side of the board. When I have covered everything with grass, I'm going to start cutting out the edges and just doing the precision work on the edges. And for this I'm using the X-Acto knife. So I used my fingers to find the edge of this little cliff so that I can cut exactly next to it. The good thing about this clip is because it's vertical, you have to just start with your X-Acto knife and then basically you just slowly pull the X-Acto knife along the edge of the cliff. So you don't have to really do a lot, you just have to be slowly and carefully pulling this X-Acto knife along the edge, and the edge is definitely going to help you do this. And then when I have cut all of it according to my cliff, I'm going to do some fine detailing because the cliff isn't necessarily vertical, it does have a little bit of an incline. Border itself does have a bit of it. So what I'm doing now is I'm pressing with fingers my grass up to the cliff, and then when I see that it's climbing up the cliff, I am taking my X-Acto knife and I'm cutting it at that edge. I've actually used the wrong X-Acto knife because this one is so dull, it was making my life miserable. So I had to cut it first from the grass side, and then I had to flip the grass and cut it from the back side of the mat. And now you can see if I press it, it's going to go right around that edge. And of course, I'm pinning it down so that it's nice and secure and it doesn't move while I'm cutting the rest of the edge out. I've used the red pins purposely because this is the color that's opposite on the color wheel from the green itself, and they're much easier to spot if you leave them behind. Okay, so now I have gone over all of the edges, did the exact same stuff. I pressed the grass mat with my fingers to see where the edge is, and then I use my X-Acto knife to cut it along the edges. And this way it's following the exact contours that I wanted to follow. I have done a little bit of detailing with my packing tape because my packing tape is actually the exact color of the soil, or at least that I want the soil to be. So it makes sense that I use it under the bridge because this bridge isn't that high, so there's isn't going to be a lot of grass below because it's going to be inside the rain shade, and also the shade itself will kill the grass. But as you can see, I'm constantly going slowly over the grass, and then when I find the point in which I have to pin the grass, then I use the pin and I pin it down. And that's it for this video. I hope that it's useful to you in some way, or at least that you were entertained. And I'll see you in the next time. Take care, bye bye!